Every year on March 8th, our screens light up with messages of female empowerment. Corporations change their logos, politicians make speeches, and social media floods with celebratory hashtags. But when the day ends and the cameras stop rolling, what reality do women step back into? A man harassed a female student near Shahbag recently. He suddenly blocked her path and told her that her clothing was inappropriate, along with other offensive comments. When she threatened to call university authorities, the harasser quickly fled the scene. The student later shared this troubling experience on Facebook, bringing attention to the street harassment faced by women at Dhaka University. When some students brought the accused to the proctor's office, he admitted to the harassment. They then handed him over to the police. But do you know how the harasser gained his freedom? A group calling themselves Tauhidi Janata surrounded Shahbag police station for 8 hours, demanding the release of Mustafa Asif Ornob. When Ornob was released, the accused wasn't met with shame or consequences. He was greeted with flowers. What concerns us most is the organized nature of this response. A group mobilizing to pressure law enforcement to release someone who admitted doing sexual harassment, even on his own video statement, which went viral on social media. And yes, merely asking an unknown woman on the street to fix her clothing is a form of sexual harassment, based on internationally accepted definition of sexual harassment. Incidents like this suggests a systematic rejection of women's basic right to exist in public spaces without being harassed. Meanwhile, in an interview with Jamuna TV, the victim said, she has been receiving hateful comments, rape threats, and death threats. She is extremely concerned for her safety and her family's well-being. She worries whether the state will provide enough security for her. She saw the accused being greeted with flowers, while she felt she had to cover her face if she left the house. She doubts she can even leave her house like she used to, wearing normal clothes, ever again. What would be the point in continuing this case? She questioned. This case illustrates why many women don't report harassment. Not because it doesn't happen, but because the consequences of reporting can be worse than the original violation. Real change requires addressing these deeper social attitudes, not just sharing empowering messages once a year. From a 6-year-old child to elderly individuals over 60, rape, sexual abuse, and harassment have become almost everyday occurrences in Bangladesh. Nearly 400 women and children victimized by sexual violence in just 2 months. These are not just statistics. They represent a horrifying reality that Bangladesh must confront honestly. Bangladesh's senior journalist Zaima Islam also shared her experience of harassment related to her clothing on Facebook. Zaima Islam powerfully observed, predators are fundamentally opportunistic. They calculate risk before attacking. Children and domestic workers become targets precisely because they are vulnerable, not because of their attire. Yet, what follows each reported assault is depressingly predictable. The immediate questioning of what the victim was wearing. This reflexive victim blaming has reached absurd new heights with the recent Orna incident, where the so-called Tauhidi Janata group not only blamed women's clothing for rape, but reportedly threatened a female student with rape and murder for daring to seek justice. Let's be absolutely clear. This narrative, it's not just wrong, but it's deliberately deceptive. If clothing truly invited assault, how do these moral guardians explain the rape of 4- and 6-year-old children? What provocative outfit could a primary school child possibly wear to deserve such violence? And what of the countless women in full burqas who face daily harassment on Bangladesh's streets? This fixation on women's clothing serves a single purpose: to distract from the real issues of power, control, and a justice system that fails to protect the vulnerable. This fixation on women's clothing serves a single purpose: to distract from the real issues of power, control, and a justice system that fails to protect the vulnerable. It shifts responsibility from perpetrators to victims, from a broken system to the very people that system should defend. Bangladesh stands at a critical juncture. We can continue indulging these dangerous myths that only serve to protect abusers, or we can demand real accountability. We can keep debating hemlines while children are violated, or we can build a justice system that actually delivers justice. One that treats sexual violence with the severity it deserves. The question isn't what women and girls should wear. The question is whether Bangladesh will finally recognize their fundamental right to safety, dignity, and justice, regardless of what they're wearing. Women's safety isn't a gift to be celebrated once a year. It's a fundamental right that requires ongoing commitment. A society where half the population lives with the constant calculation of risk is not a free society. Beyond the celebration lies the hard work of creating a world where Women's Day isn't just a commercial opportunity, but a genuine celebration of progress achieved and sustained every day of the year.